Greetings to all of you, my dear sisters and brothers and my dear friends. A warm welcome to all of you. I'm your Pastor Yeti. Devotional study from the 52 greatest stories of the Bible. Today we are in our beliefs. These days, few people seem to believe that there is such a thing as absolute truth. Fewer still believe we can know it. Obviously, we've all been influenced by the presence of sin in the world, and that influence has rendered us incapable of absolutely understanding absolute truth. Because we cannot grasp it exhaustively, however, does not mean it doesn't exist. The truth about us is that whether we express it or not, we all live with a set of beliefs that we take to be the truth. But how we define truth makes all the difference in how we live. Moses sent a group of 12 leaders into the Promised Land to gather information. He was going to use the information to formulate his plan of attack. And after spending 40 days behind enemy lines, however, 10 of these leaders returned with a bad report, suggesting that there was no way they could accomplish the task of invading and displacing the people who currently occupied Canaan. Several huge mistakes were made. First, Moses was the one who commissioned the team, but they returned and reported back to all the people instead. They were merely asked to bring back information, but they went beyond that and made a recommendation: let's stay out of there. Most importantly, the report brought back by these leaders failed to consider what God had to say about the situation. And that is precisely what made this report bad. Truth is not merely facts. These men reported facts. The land was good. The inhabitations were large. The cities were fortified. Those are all facts. But factual information is only one part of the truth. Neither is truth popular opinion. In fact, it is often in the absence of an understanding of real truth that opinion polls take on a weight and authority they do not deserve. Neither is real truth what is doable. Real truth is not our perception. Real truth is higher and deeper and broader than any of that. Real truth is what God says about a particular situation. Real truth corresponds to reality from God's perspectives, and only He sees the whole thing, and only He is in a position to make a judgment about it. Truth is hard sometimes. Truth can be costly. Truth for these people would have meant war. It would have meant giving up some of their evenings at home in their tents, some of their peaceful, if nomadic, existence, because they were afraid. Because they had forgotten who they were and how great their God was. They choose to consider only the facts and go with popular opinion rather than doing what God had called them to do. God's truth would demand too much of them. It was unmanageable. It was impractical, they thought. But whenever a group of God's people chooses to follow the path of practically instead of listening to and obeying the call of God, they run the risk of spending years wandering about in aimless and fruitless work. The people had a choice to make. They said, "Let us die in the desert rather than deal with this fierce enemies." And that is exactly what God allowed them to do, because the people failed to live by God's truth. They ended up dying by their own. It's a very hard message. And sometimes we want to turn those pages in the Holy Scriptures, not even reading it. But dear ones, face the truth, even it's hard. And the world is covering that truth in so many ways that even for Christians it's hard to face that truth every day and walk in truth. That's why we need the guidance of the Holy Spirit, because He is the only one who convinced the world of sin and about everything. That's why we need this guidance. If you ever believe that you can walk your path alone, well, that's a wrong truth. Okay? Let me say this is a half-truth. Well, anyway, I don't want to mix up your emotions or your day. I'm just saying this. They were in that time frame when they were starting to see and the experience of what their God was. I think it was pretty rough. May the Almighty God bless you in your mornings, noontimes, and evenings. Face the truth with Him about you and your relationship with Him, your Father. Face the truth with your dear ones. If you come to your rest point, lay your head on your pillow and overview that. Sometimes it's good to face the reality of our own life and see where we are. Worship Him, my dear ones, the God who has victor over everything. And let Him bless you and the ones next to you, your loved ones. Blessings to all of you, my dear ones. I love you guys. This is your Pastor Yeti. Bye.